Hello, everyone. So today's stream's going to be a bit different. Let me turn the music down just a little bit. Okay. Today's going to be a little bit different. I'm working on like a special one-off weather. So let's go ahead and set that to nighttime. Lock the weather. Best. Welcome to the stream, Allie. One second, I gotta pop out of the game to adjust something. Okay. Yeah, it should be good. All right. One second, something's still not working. There we go. Okay. Stayed by stop. Great. Alright, let's go and start fixing this. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to zero out all of the ambient lighting. And let's go and set this as low. And now let's come down here. No clouds are enabled. Put that back. We'll deal with fog in a minute. So for now I'm going to kill it. I'm not sure what you're asking, Wolfish. If you're asking how many years it has been developed, the Skywind project started shortly after Skyrim came out. Although the current state that you see here, I could be wrong, but I think this is about... There's obviously there's some stuff from like the early development days, but what you see here is probably about 6 years of work. As far as like how many years are left, I couldn't say. But we are constantly working on it, constantly polishing it up. That doesn't matter. Okay, there we go. Lighting is dead. So I'm gonna go right here. I'm gonna skip that music track. And it's gonna hit the water. Down as well, something like that. Yeah. Sorry if I'm delayed reading your chats. I'm running the game in a window, and then I have the chat off to the right. But sometimes I don't catch what you guys write immediately. So the music you're hearing is not from the game itself. I've actually got the game muted, and I'm running like an Elder Scrolls music playlist I created on Apple Music. So that's what you're hearing in the background. So there'll be stuff from Morrowind, Skyrim, Oblivion, um, Online, Blades, etc. So it's just a big Elder Scrolls playlist that shuffling. By the way, is the music too loud or is it okay? Awesome. All right, so the first thing that we got to do is this is all going to be grayed out. Okay. No. Closer, okay. Kind of wanted a little more extreme. Something like 5K. Yeah, 5K feels good. Darken that down just a little bit. May need to darken it some more. Normally I would skip that track, but it is Halloween month, so we'll go with the creep factor. Oh, I need to turn on streamer mode on Discord. Sorry, that is me. Let me adjust that so you guys don't hear random Discord noises. Sorry about that. Give me 1 second, see who pinged me. Looks like somebody in my server. Oh, that reminds me. I'm gonna post a link to the stream in my server. I forgot to do that. Alright, I am back. Sorry for that break. Okay, so the trick to this is basically I need to imply that there is a strong moon cast through the fog. And we're going to do that like this. You can do a lot of cool stuff with the VLs if you know what you're doing. Isn't that awesome? That's great, right? So what I want to do now is I want to kind of want to darken this. We'll deal with that in a minute. Maybe I just need to go black with this. Probably. That may look completely broken, but I'm just going to go with a black sky And then as we lift this up, the world will be revealed. That looks okay. Let's pull this back some. 80. Yep, there we go. That's getting closer to what I'm looking for. Come up here and lift this up. Yeah, hopefully this is looking nice and spooky. Well, this is nighttime quantum. Just meant to be the moon. Gonna skip that one. Probably take my helmet off. That looks alright. And we're gonna skip that too. Pretty good. Hello, Dale. Yes, Dal, I am personally porting Skywind to as far back as the original PlayStation. So you'll be able to play that on PS3 VR for sure. Uh, I don't think Nintendo will allow me to do it. I tried. I tried calling my uncle who works at Nintendo, and they just were not interested. So, unfortunately, the Game Boy Color is not an option for us. Oh my God, this is starting to look horrible in the best way possible. Let's, the cool thing about this is like as we move through the time at night, we can kind of see like where the moon is through the fog. I'll ask him again, but I don't know. Don't know if we're gonna have much luck there. Yes, Jester, you can get this program on the Nexus. It is called Create. Um, yeah, see the name right there. It's a mod on the Nexus. It's made by one of our developers, Kitsune. But he made this before he joined Skywind. It works with Skyrim. It's not just for Skywind. Dale, the current goal is to finish Bitter Coast before the end of November. That's my personal goal. Talk to you later, son. All right, so this weather is kind of like a nightmare scenario for streaming. Um, but if I go to my browser and I look at the Twitch stream, it does seem to be visible on my end. Are you guys having any trouble seeing what's going on as I'm walking around? Oh, that's awesome. Seeing this side of the sky brighter. That's great. Yeah, like all the tools were always here to do stuff like this, but you don't really ever see that in the vanilla game on Skyrim SE. So, Dal, what I'm working on now is for the little project that we talked about. You know the one, the quick one that I'm working on. No, Jester. This is no, Jester. This is just a special weather for something that I'm working on. Um, it'll make sense in a few weeks, but this is not a base weather. This is just a special weather, for, like I said, for a project. There isn't really a base weather. Each region has a specific number of weathers that we decide on as a team, like what regions need to have what types of weather, and then we build those weathers for that region. Then we move on to the next. So every weather you see is going to be region specific. There's a number of reasons for that, but the bottom line is there is no base weather. Every region has its own set of weathers. Thank you, Sergeant Mac. That is the goal. Does anybody think the moon looks weird being visible through that? Or is it okay? So that's with the moon visible. However, we could make it invisible. Does the weather look weird with it up there, or should I just do this and make the fog so thick that you feel the moon but not see it? Yeah, I'm leaning toward fully obscured too, to be honest. Let's split the difference. It wasn't like this visible, so if I just make it... That's extremely faint and may not even show up on stream, but you can see the outline of the moon there. Let me swap over to my browser. Oh, it's impossible to spot on stream. Hang on. Let's see if that's any better. Yeah, there. Okay, so that's barely there. I feel like I need more of that. I went overboard. Port still looks okay. Yeah, there we go. It's fine. Interestingly enough, like these are the hardest. These are the most difficult weathers to do. For me anyway, because there's like this massively high quality bar that I have set for myself, and the more atmosphere that I have to fake, the more difficult it becomes. Let's put down the ambient. I don't want that brighter. That still feels like moonlight, right? Even though it's really bright, that feels okay, right? Oh man, the mood here is insane. That's some vibe. Yeah, it's funny, Kamikaze. To be fair, this is the 2016 remaster, so it's a little bit better than that. But yeah, the original game was designed for PS3 and 360. Although all of this is not possible on the original release. Um, this is heavily using SE's volumetric lighting, and LE did not have that. Interestingly enough, though, Bethesda didn't really use, they didn't utilize the volumetric lighting to this significant of a degree. But the tools were always there to make it look like this. Okay. I think I just about reached my goal of what I wanted out of this. Tighten that up a bit. Man, that's so annoying. Oh no, we're skipping whatever that is. No, Jester, I don't. I would like to. I've just not really I haven't really been asked to help over there, and I haven't actually mentioned to them that I wouldn't mind helping. I don't even know if they need my help. So. But yeah, I definitely would work with them if they needed my help. One of our devs is also a dev over there, so I do talk to him about the stuff that he's working on a lot. He hops into voice chat with us sometimes. Look how bright the first person model is. Huh. It's like it's got another light on it. Okay, let's check this at another town. You know what? Sure. We'll I'm typing this right. Checking Ebonheart. And keep in mind, Ebonheart is not done at all. But I am less interested in the port itself and the area. I'm actually more interested in the area around it for how this lighting looks. Sure. Go out here in this direction. If I can jump over the wall. What am I getting caught on? There we go. Alright. Yeah, this looks quite nice. Yeah, this works. Alright, let's try Valmora. Oh, that's lovely. Yeah, so what's happening there, Jester, the game basically has it has the fog that the original game shipped with, and then they layer the volumetric lighting over the top. So what I'm doing is, the silhouette is created by the original fog. So basically I'm darkening out underneath, and then the volumetric rays, the God rays, are laid over the top of that. For Skywind, the sky, we have if you're talking about clouds, we have a custom cloud mesh where instead of like the traditional card-based cloud mesh that the original game ships with, we have like concentric hemispheres that rotate like the original does, but it's full panorama textures that are wrapped all the way around the sky. The sky itself is really not any different from vanilla Skyrim. It's just the cloud mesh that's really been changed. The textures are not handmade. They're if you're talking about clouds, the clouds are generated in a different game engine that allows us to generate like a panorama and export it with an alpha channel. So we generate 3D volumetric clouds that are then baked onto a 2D texture and wrapped around the sky. And I do it in multiple passes so that I can control lighting on the clouds. So I have like a base layer and then another layer that only contains the lighting, so that I can like tint the light toward any color that I want. And then we have like, it's a layered cloud system, but also we have different layers for sunset, sunrise, and day and night. So typical is probably not the word you'd want to use here. Typical for this region, it would be more common in the Bitter Coast. But most of the weather isn't necessarily this all the time. It's just only where it makes sense in the region that you're in. Like, for example, you're probably not going to see a lot of this, you know, let's say, trying to think, you might not see much of this in like the Ashlands where the humidity's really low, the air's really dry. The only way that you would see something like this, it would be like in a ash storm or a dust storm in that region. So it's all region specific, independent. Yeah, Jester, at some point I will get around to doing those. In fact, give me a second. I'm gonna hop over to my YouTube channel and then I'll paste a link in the chat real quick. 1 second. Yeah, there's like some really, really early tests that I did that you guys might find interesting. And I think I uploaded them to my channel. Bear with me here while I find the video. Surely I didn't delete it. Ow! Well, wait, here, this one might do. 1 second.
Performance.
Sorry about that ad. Good old YouTube. I'm just going to verify this is the right video and then I'll drop the link for you guys. Yeah, okay. So I did like an announcement video on my channel about a year ago. Announcing to like everybody that followed me that I was working on Skywind. And at the beginning of this video, you can see like an early test I did of like a really red blight storm. I'm not sure if that's the look that we're eventually going to go with. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. But you can kind of get an idea of like where my headspace was about a year ago on this. Yeah, and Mac, it's not it goes beyond like different regions having different weathers. Even weathers of the same type have to be treated slightly differently. So like for example, the bitter coast takes into account that there's a lot of like green foliage like grass and trees around. And so in a weather like this during the day, some of that light would scatter and would tint like it would tend to fall slightly toward that green. Whereas in, like, say, I don't know, Ascadian Isles, maybe the color needs to be slightly different based on the scenery and surroundings there. So all of the regions, the reason I'm doing it on a region by region basis is I want to be sure that the lighting looks correct for everywhere. Hey guys, so I am starting to smell supper being cooked at my house. So I think I'm going to stop working here and give a few minutes for any questions you guys might have. And I'll try to answer what I can. Yeah, at some point in the future, I'll demonstrate how the cloud textures are made. As a matter of fact, hang on. Let me save this real quick. And we'll load up one of the weathers that uses the clouds. Yeah, this one right here is fine. So this is just an overcast weather. We showed this off in one of our recent showcase videos. I'll just go to noon here. You can see these clouds are not like the traditional Skyrim clouds at all. It's a panoramic texture that wraps all the way around. But as you'll notice, if I start moving the time of day, you can see the lighting change on the clouds. Oh, let me read chat real quick. Okay, it looks like Ashley's in here. Ashley's another one of our weather devs, so Ashley also generates some of the cloud textures that we make. There's a let me hop over to La Ode. There's a really nice spot at sunset on this weather. You can tell that this weather was generated in this area because it looked a little better than it does actually in the town of Balmora. There we go. So check this out as we go to sunset. The clouds look absolutely lovely. And if I go to the morning, you can kind of see like that it's implied that the sun is up over here because we have like brightness on one side of the sky and this side of the sky is quite dark. So that's another thing that the vanilla game never did. We're basically hijacking the clouds to also sort of give ourselves like an override for how the sky works in the game. So we can have like sky glow on one side and darkness on the other. Which also means that in the future, we'll be able to sort of like hint at potential storms coming from one side of the sky. A lot of things that I'd like to do, just not quite sure what exactly is possible concerning my ideas yet. But we're gonna try to do as much as we can to make the weather as immersive as possible. And as one last bonus, I'm going to go to nighttime. And I'm going to do the thunderstorm. So this thunderstorm uses a variation of the same cloud texture. If I go to, let's go to sunset. Go back to that spot. I love how that looks when the lightning flashes and the wet boards light up. It's really nice. So let's push this over to sunset, right about there. So you can see it's like a variation of those same clouds. But they're being reused here and lit in a different way. So our cloud textures are really flexible in that we don't bake the color information into our clouds. The color is controlled by the weather itself, which makes it really flexible and allows us to save on VRAM for sure. Starum correct. I can guarantee that Skywind will be released before the year 2100. At some point between now and 2100, it will definitely be out. That's a joke. But yeah, anybody got any more questions? Oh, let me show you guys. Anybody that missed this weather, it looks really nice at night because you can see like the lightning flash and stuff. If it will lightning flash for me. There we go. Oh, something's broken. It's not supposed to flash that hard. Oh, well, that's clearly something I've got to fix. So, all right, everyone. I think I'm going to wrap it up here. Let me check. Is a simple blend enough for switching time of day? Yeah. So I made the decision to sacrifice cloud movement for extremely realistic volumetric clouds. We don't actually have volumetric clouds, but if you bake volumetric clouds into a texture, the result appears the same. So I made the decision that rather than have clouds move, I felt that more realistic skyboxes were more important. So with the exception of ash and blight storms, the clouds do not move. And that allows us to blend seamlessly between noon, sunrise, sunset, and night lighting on our clouds. The truth is, we really don't know when we're going to release. We're not going to like give ourselves like an ETA or anything like that. It's the age-old answer of when it's finished, really. But I think maybe years ago that sounded a little concerning, and people thinking, "Oh, it's never going to be finished." But I think like you can look around and you can see the complexity of the world here, and you can see like the staggering amount of work that has been done. We are clearly making very good progress. Skywind will be completed and it will come out. And I'm not able to give you an ETA because I myself don't even know. None of us really know when it would be done. But I can say, for the people thinking it's going to take us like another 10 years, I'm confident in saying probably not. I think it'll be quite a bit sooner than that. But yeah, nobody really knows when. But like I said, you can see the staggering amount of detail that we have here. We're getting a lot of work done. We're working really hard on it. Skywind will be completed. You guys will be able to play it. So that is all for me, guys. I'm going to hop off. You have a great night or day wherever you are in the world. See you guys later.